You are looking at some scenes of Trinity Lutheran Church that were recorded on Saturday, January 22nd, 2011, the day before Trinity's final liturgy. Trinity was founded in 1838. The building that you're looking at was designed by the architect Guy Tilden and dedicated in 1886. This is the Clara Lair Rotunda. You're looking at a portrait of Clara Lair, who was a deaconess at Trinity in the 1930s and 40s. She was married to Carl Lair, a longtime member of Trinity. Looking in on the library, where many meetings have been held, the library and conference room. In the upper part of the rotunda, there were a number of Sunday school rooms. This is a photograph of the Millet building next to Trinity, which was owned by Trinity for a time. And here's some information about the structure, which was dedicated actually in 1886 in the Romanesque style. We are walking towards the side entrance here. To the right is the office. Continuing in this direction, this takes us into the nave of the church. The steps to the right take you out to the chancel. The rose window. Here we see one of the Stations of the Cross. These were dedicated in the 1990s. And here a few people buried in the columbarium. On the top you see the Quets, and there's a few others. In the back of the church we see the ciborium in preparation here to be carried at the offertory by the acolyte in Trinity's final Eucharist. There we see the processional cross, which was dedicated in the 1950s. There's actually two sets of vessels that are commonly used for Sunday liturgies. The gold set that you just saw the ciborium of is from the 1980s. There's a silver set that's from the turn of the 20th century. Here we see the list of Trinity's pastors, beginning with J.J. Fast, who started the English language congregation, which left the old German church. And this has recently been updated through the current year. Here we see the view moving down the center aisle. The font that you see there is original to the building. It was dedicated in 1886. Its original location was up to the right of the chancel where you now see the choir loft. That was the former baptistry prior to the chancel redesign in the 1980s. And we're moving up to the altar. Here you see the high altar. The very old candelabras. There you see the stand for the thurible. And here we see the aumbrey where the sacrament is reserved. This also dates from the 1990s. You saw the Chantz organ there. And here we are preparing the thurible. Looks nice and shiny for Trinity's final liturgy. Here we are moving down to the undercroft. Path that I took many times to get from the sacristy to the narthex in preparation for many a Sunday liturgy. We're going to turn right and walk through the undercroft. Need to turn some lights on. The kitchen is to the right there. In this area is the choir room. Here we see some historical mementos. The view of the nave and chancel prior to redesign. This is a time capsule from the 1980s. A very old view of the former altar. You see the candelabra on the old altar. The death of the wife of Pastor Herman. Here we're taking another close-up view from the upper part of the rotunda. One more view from the sacristy. Here we see where the vestments are kept, and we're going to see the gold vestments, mainly used for Christmas and Easter. This is the dalmatic or tunicle, and there's also a gold cope that you will see. Stay tuned for some scenes from Trinity's final liturgy on January 23rd, 2011.